let's talk about why manifestations fail. So in this video, I prepared 3 of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing over and over again for you. I want to share them with you so that you can avoid these mistakes that, prevent a lot of people from actually experiencing their manifestation. And it can be very hurtful if you know it is possible, if you always flirt with the desired state. You kind of take your foot into the door of your desired reality, but then you always snap back. And you will be able to avoid this if you understand the 3 mistakes that I prepared for you in this video. So let's just dive right in. And like I said here, if you avoid all of the following 3 mistakes, you will manifest your desire. That is my conviction. Now, the first mistake, and I talk about this quite often on my channel, it's imagining your desire in order to get it in the future. This is so subtle and it seems so irrelevant that majority of people overlook it in their manifestation journey. Yet this subtle nuance, if you understand this, it can make your manifestation process so easier. I will give you examples from my own life, okay? So first, bring your attention to this illustration that you see on the screen, because I want you to understand this, right? The shift, the feeling of naturalness, the shifting into your desired state, into the wish fulfilled, that happens within you. One, you would probably agree with that. And then we have the mirror, representing the external circumstances. And then in the mirror, we have the bridge of incidents that takes place, and we have eventually the manifestation, which is the consequence of the wish fulfilled. And that is already the transition to that key point that I want to bring across here, is that the manifestation is what? Is a mirror of what? Of the wish fulfilled. Now, if you in your inner world, let's just say that on the left side, that's your inner world, and that on the right side is your outer world. If you in your inner world now imagine to get something in the future, you do the shift, you try to get the feeling of naturalness to eventually, to eventually see your wish fulfilled, what does that mean to the mirror? Well, it means you are not in the wish fulfilled. You're trying to do stuff to finally see the wish fulfilled. But that can't happen, because the wish fulfilled in form of the manifestation will only happen as a consequence of you actually having experienced your wish as being fulfilled. Right? So you need to imagine your desire for the sake of imagining it as being done, for the sake of fully in the here and now being in the wish fulfilled, not to get something in the future. Right? This the secret behind manifestation is believe you have received within, believe you are it, and then you will. Whatsoever you desire, believe you have received, and then you will. Right? So is this clear to you? I really want this to make sense. Mirror, manifestation, bridge of incidents, all that happens when you already are in the wish fulfilled. But if you imagine to see the wish fulfilled, because you think, oh, my wish is fulfilled when I see it in my circumstances around me, then you will wait forever, because then you will just do those inner shifts and, I affirm it is done, I affirm it is done, I imagine it is done, so that I finally get it. You are not it within. The mirror, aka the manifestation, can only show you what you all already are. So you have to match your desire fully in the here and now to be it, not to get it in the future. So if you do that, if you imagine your desire in order to get it, this leads to pressure and trying to get it mentality, always projecting something into the future, always waiting, hoping, seeing, trying to make something happen, right? And also remember that God's name is I am, not I will be, right? Our true self's name is I am. If you say, I will be financially abundant, I will be healthy, but you're still in the consciousness of, you're still declaring, you're still conscious of illness, of loneliness, of unhappy, not happily partnered, not being with your desired person, not being financially abundant. That is what you're aware of. And then you say, but yeah, one day I will be financially abundant. Then you will always, it's like a carrot that you tangle in front of you. You'll always keep it separate from you, right? But your true self is I am. So claim it now. And then let the world simply confirm it. Like Neville Goddard said, the world gives you and can only give you what you first give yourself within. So the mirror of life can only reflect what you are now. Exactly what I just said, right? If you are not in the end state within, it can't manifest. It's all about the internal experience in the here and now, right? You need to understand that your wish is not fulfilled when you see it on the outside. That is only the confirmation that your wish was fulfilled. So fulfill your wish within, experience a feeling of naturalness, boom, it's done. You will no longer even need your desire to manifest at this point, and then it will manifest ironically as a confirmation, as a result of you already having experienced it and achieved it on the inside. So what would it be like if it would be true? Right? You can pretend there would be no manifestation in order to decrease resistance, because many people have resistance, and when they imagine, they say, hey, but I never experienced this. How could this be possible? It's been so long that I've not seen any movement and all of that. But the would word is a magic word because it helps you to calm your rational mind. The rational mind is tied to your circumstances, so it can't see or a way for the manifestation right now. It doubts, it questions, it worries about when and how something is going to happen. But the moment you go into the experience of the wish fulfilled through your imagination, by imagining something that implies it is done, with the what would it be like attitude, what would it be like? Would I be this version of me? What would it be like? Would I have this in my life right now? And then the more and more you say it, the more and more you will say, hey, you will be able to allow yourself to actually, fuse with that version of you. So the summary of this first mistake is be it now. Don't project your desire in the future. When you imagine, when you visualize, when you go within, then do it not to wait for something to happen in the future, because there is no future. There is only the here and now. What you call the future is only the mirror then always showing you in a delayed way certain things. But what matters is where you stand within, where you dwell in consciousness here now, and that is eventually reflected and externalized also in the circumstances. But if you think, when you see your manifestation in the circumstances, that this equals the wish fulfilled, then you fall for this mistake. That's why I say it's subtle. Understand that the wish fulfilled happens on the inside, and the manifestation is the consequence of you fully having experienced the wish fulfilled. Okay, now that we got this first mistake out of the way, let's talk about the second, which is thinking of your desire instead of making an actual internal experience, right? Now, what most people do is they see their desired state in reality from a distance. They think of it. They say, okay, my desire needs to still happen, and it still hasn't happened yet. And it's closely connected to the first point, but I want to mention something here, because when you actually get out of your head, out of the thinking, out of the what could it be like, and what about this, and what about that, and you go into the experience of the wish fulfilled, the state of the wish fulfilled, there is no more waiting for an outcome. There is no more seeing your desire as somewhere over there. No, you are it in the here and now, right? So again, magic of experience, there is no more overthinking possible when you just experience that your wish is fulfilled. And what I wanted to mention earlier in the first point are also some examples from my own life. So, I wanted a car at one point. For me, this was just one out of dozens and dozens and dozens of manifestations. I share also quite a few of these success stories here on my channel. But at one point, I wanted to manifest a car, and my mentor recommended me to simply imagine how I feel the car keys to imply that I'm already owning this car. Right? And I did that scene. That scene resonated with me. And each time that I worried, but how will I be able to finance it? How will I be able to afford it? Where will I find the car with those specs that I want? And all of that stuff. I went back into the experience of feeling those car keys. And in that moment, when I was in the spiritual sensation in the experience of actually feeling the car keys in my hand, everything dropped. All doubts, all worries, all the desiring dropped. So also in connection to the first point, right? The moment I imagined to simply in the here now feel the car keys, which shifted me into the state of in the here now owning this car, my desire died. And also my overthinking stopped, right? So an imaginative experience is always supreme to you rationally overanalyzing and trying to solve things through your rational mind, right? So experience the implication of the wish fulfilled. And also don't overanalyze, don't overthink all the details that need to be in your scene. Don't overanalyze all arising thoughts or emotions, which also a lot of people then get entangled in because they don't have built a level of self-awareness that allows them to take a step back and let these things come up, these emotions, these doubts, potential fears, without getting lost in them and following their trace. Right? Most people are immediately, whatever arises, they're clinging onto it and are attached to it, instead of practicing self-observation and self-awareness and observing without judging, right? So yeah, do not try to convince your rational mind, because the belief in the wish fulfilled is not a prerequisite. You don't need to believe in your manifestation right now in order to accomplish it. The belief that you can get it, that it is done, that it's possible, that it already is so, is a result of you dwelling in the wish fulfilled state. So never try to convince your rational mind. If your rational mind right now can't believe, it's okay. Right? And whenever your rational mind loses itself and thinking of it, and it would be so nice, and what can I do to get it, and I really wish I could be this soon, the longer you entertain that, the more you will nurture the old state of not having it. The quicker, and I will show you a very powerful illustration right now, the quicker you see that and you go back into the wish fulfilled, the quicker you see your results. So you have to translate desiring into being, thinking of into thinking from, wanting into having, right? So this is the illustration that I want to share with you right now. And then we look at the first point. So you basically have to decrease how long it takes for you to notice that you got entangled in your current state or your current circumstances that deny that your wish is fulfilled, and shift back. Simple. Again, you have to decrease how long it takes you to notice that you got entangled in your current state, right? Some people take a week or a month being entangled back in their old self, in their old state, and then they notice, oh, damn, yeah, for a whole entire month, I've been entangled in this old state. Let me now get my wish fulfilled. But what if you're able to decrease that from 5 days to 1 day to 1 hour, right? So you start to shift in your desired state, and then it takes you 5 days to notice that you reacted again in a way that you would not react in the wish fulfilled, or that you got triggered again, that you have a lot of fears and doubts again if you can do it, and then after 5 days you shift back. Or you decrease it to an hour or to 1 day, and you see it decreases. So you in a quicker way, you make the desired state more natural when you have a higher level of self-awareness, which is, by the way, the first pillar, the first fundamental aspect that I teach members in our private community, that we help each other to understand in our community in the Upgrade to Life program. So if that sounds relevant for you and you want to learn more about how you can do that, second link in the video description. Now let's go to the third point. And the third mistake that people do is they judge too quickly. They give up too quickly. They draw conclusions too quickly. Like they might shift into a state, nothing's happening, or a month goes by, and then they say, yeah, oh, the circumstances got worse, or I got triggered again, or something didn't go the way that I expected it, so yeah, it's no longer possible for me, right? Instead of in a very stubborn way, in a very naive way, remaining in the desired state, right? So it can take time till a new state becomes natural. And to make it natural, we satisfy our hunger, we satisfy our desire by experiencing it as being done. Can we experience it as being done right now in our senses? No, because there we don't have it. Can we experience it as being done within ourselves, in our inner world? Yes, because within we have access to all states, because we are infinite. We are awareness, and we can shift into any state, right? So whenever you get triggered, whenever you feel desiring again, whenever you perceive lack again, whenever the circumstances make you feel worried, whenever you're not sure about which actions to take, gently maneuver back in the wish fulfilled. And you can determine if that takes you a week that you do that, and you therefore delay the process to make the end state natural for a long time, or if it takes you a day, right? And persist does also not mean pressure. Like you don't need pressure, you don't need willpower, right? Dwelling in the desired state is amazing. It's joy, it's fun. You can look forward to again satisfy your hunger. You look forward to eat physical meals. If you would never ever in your life have hunger, it would be boring. You would no longer experience the joy of eating an amazing food. And so it is when you get a desire arising within you, you can look forward to when you're at home, when you have some time for yourself to dive into the wish fulfillment of that, because it brings joy. There's nothing, I know nothing more joy than to experience that my wish is now fulfilled, that my desire is now happening, that I am experiencing it now as being done. So the desire dies when you imagine it as being fulfilled. And that is the key step, one missing step, right? In the manifestation process, we actually want the desire to die, because you can't get what you desire, you get what you are. So let the desire die by experiencing it as being fulfilled inside of you. And then the manifestation is a consequence of you already having identified yourself with that new state. But the desire is a way. And this back and forth will increasingly stop, and you'll be it. So there might be a back and forth in the wish fulfilled, out of the wish fulfilled, in the wish fulfilled, out of the wish fulfilled, which, by the way, you can also make that. You can also increase the likelihood for you to stay more in your desired reality when you have a safety net around you, when you have a community around you, and people that remind you to not get entangled in your old state constantly. So again, that's why I recommend you join us and our movement where we help each other. Don't judge yourself for having fallen into an undesired state, right? Many people do that. They fall into an old state and then they judge themselves. They worry that now their manifestation is no longer possible. They blame themselves, which is again just keeping them stuck. And the summary here is conscious persistency will become an automatic habitual persistency. Meaning, in the beginning, yes, you need to consciously, I reacted a way that I would not react in the wish fulfilled. So I'm currently not in my desired state. Let me consciously go back. So you do that, but at some point, the desired state will gain a momentum, will become habitual for you, and you will automatically see the world from your desired state. You will manifest automatically. It's not that you then always need to consciously go back. No, it will then be so natural, so habitual to you. It will have such a strong momentum that you will automatically continue to stay in that state. You would have to imagine the opposite again for quite some time to fall out of it again. But at one point, that conscious persistency and you always returning back to the wish fulfilled will become your new norm, right? So we talked about this illustration. So whenever you notice something, triggers, doubts, undesired circumstances, worries, reactions, not sure what to do, it is upon you how long you take to shift back. And again, you can decrease the time it takes you to shift back when you have all of this in the back of your mind and when you have people around you, an environment that nurtures that. And that is, again, why I invite you to join us. At least check out what I prepared for you. Click the second link in the video description, watch that video and see if that resonates. And if you want to implement that, if you want a structured system, community, coaching, a all-in-one space where you can feel like home, then I invite you to join us. So thank you very much for watching. Now you know the 3 mistakes. So quick recap. Do not imagine to make something happen in the future because that implies you are not it now. Do not lose your mind, lose yourself in your rational mind, which tries to work out ways, tries to find solutions and overthinks if you do everything perfect. Trust the experience of the wish fulfilled in the here and now, that imaginative experience of the wish fulfilled. So imagine things that imply that your wish is done, like I did with the car keys, the apartment, partnership, relationships, health, money, business success. Like I've tried that and implemented that also in all life areas. Right? And last but not least, do persist, right? And do not judge too quickly only if there is no movement right now. That is it from my side. I look forward to hear your feedback in the comments and to speak to you in the next one. Bye, guys.